afternoon.
And video number what?
4. Yeah. So we are talking Hyperspace.
Hyperspace builds via Aaron and Curtis.
So we are here going to touch base on Resistance. But before we do, I just want to throw in a quick Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And I realized we didn't release anything the last couple of weeks, but with holidays and Christmas and family and all that stuff, it is what it is.
It comes first.
So that comes first. Also, I also want to mention to you about our Crimson Core Facebook page and the Crimson CTG Gmail, our email account. Please, email us, talk to us, chat with us. We'll try to get back to you on it. And we'll do the best we can. But here we go. You ready? So the ships, Hyperspace, legal for the Resistance is as follows. Everyone's big favorite with the Crimson Knight Ravens that everybody's been talking about, the MG-100 Star Fortress. Yep, that's the big bombers.
Yeah, I flew one of those on the weekend. It was a lot of fun.
RZ-2 A-Wing, brand new ship, just came out. Ship looks amazing. I've heard mixed emotions about it, but I've heard it's pretty good. And of course, the Millennium Falcon, which is the Scavenge YT-1300 Light Freighter.
Or Ray's ship.
Or Ray's ship. Chewbacca's ship, whichever you want to look at. Han Solo.
Ray.
Han Solo is still in there.
Ray. Han
Solo, Chewbacca. And, of course, the all-infamous T-70 X-Wing.
Better known as better than 65.
So, the little bit better than 65. And we are moving forward with our builds. So, for Hyperspace build, for me, for the Resistance, I built, so my pilot skills is 1 6 and 2 5s. 3 ships. What did I build? Well, I put Ray in the Millennium Falcon. Her ability has not really changed from 1.0, but couple of different things were added. So, we're going to talk about her briefly, and I'll go into a little bit more detail with her because I love talking about, because we really haven't been able to do much of a box opening with those. So, Ray's ability is as follows. While you defend or perform an attack, if the enemy ship is in your front firing arc, you may spend 1 force to change one of your blank results to an evade or a hit result. Now, normally, in 1.0, she was her ability was allowing you to re-roll 2 blanks. This says now you can spend your force, spend 1 force. So you can only spend 1 force to change 1 of your blank results. So you can't spend double force to change both of those results, right? So, but you can change it to an evade or a crit. So she's good with now with either defense or hits, where before it was just hit. It was just offense. So she's removed herself more with defense as well, which is really, really good. With the Millennium Falcon, if I'm going to touch base a little bit on the card as well, because we haven't really touched base on it. They have the focus, the white target lock, and yes, the Resistance Millennium Falcon has the boost action, which is red, and it has a red turret action. So to turn the turret, it's got to go red. Ray's card is 3 attack out of the front, out of the turret, 1 defense, 8 hull, 3 shield, and 2 force. What did I put on Ray? Well, seeing how the ships I took were all extremely very high in cost, I put Ray's Millennium Falcon title card on her, which says, if you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you can execute a red Signar's loop or maneuvers and perform a boost and a turret rotation action even while stressed. So you can still boost and rotate your thing even if you're stressed. You can still do her boost action as well as rotate her turret.
I got that.
That's pretty sweet.
Curtis wants to rotate her turret.
That's pretty sweet. And I put heightened perception on her, which is at the start of engagement phase, you may spend 1 force. If you do, engage at initiative 7 instead of your standard initiative value for the phase. Why? Because I want to make sure that Ray shoots first if I am in this build. That's the reason why I put that on. My next pilot that I chose to fly was our favorite X-Wing pilot, the trigger happy flyboy, Mr. Poe Dameron.
Oh, you went out of the box for your build.
After you perform an action, you may spend 1 energy to perform a white action, treating it as a red weapon hardpoint. So as you can equip 1 system, 1 torpedo, and 1 missile upgrade to, or you can do either of those. So what did I put on them? I put crack shot, black 1. And I put integrated foils with him, which is pretty cool. Their integrated foils are actually really nifty. So it says, while you perform a primary attack, if the defender is not in your bullseye, roll 1 fewer attack die before you activate. You may flip the card. It's okay.
Yeah, and that lets them do barrel rolls.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then I put homing missiles on. So that allows home missiles, which says, hey, spend 1, you roll 4 dice. Spend 1 energy after you declare the defender. The defender may choose to suffer 1 damage. If he does, skip the attack. The defense dice steps, and the attack is treated as hit.
So you're going to hit him at least 1 damage, no matter what.
So you're going to hit him with 1 damage at least.
And who else did you put in that? You had enough room for 3 pilots with a Ray and a Poe?
Yeah.
Wow.
I put the Lula La Lampart, whoever that is, I've never heard of this, is the Lemurius Mentor. This is the RZ2 A-Wing.
Oh, an A-Wing.
He's 38 points. He's 38 points. I decided to have a little bit of fun with this build and see what I could do by putting an extra ship in here. So what does he do? His ability is as follows. While you defend or perform primary attack, if you are stressed, you must roll 1 fewer defense dice or 1 additional attack die. Refine gyro stabilizers. You can rotate your turret indicator only to your front or your back arc. After you perform an action, you may perform a red boost or turret action or red turret action. Turn turret action. So you rotate your turret indicator either the front or the back, and then after you perform your action, you may do a red boost action on top of that, or I can rotate my turret again. So you get the double action.
Yeah, you know what? Ray and Poe, if you give them all their upgrades, are pretty powerful.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd water them down to throw an A-Wing in there.
I
would be interested to see that build play, see if it's worth it or not.
It might be. The reason I did that is because when we went with the Rebel build, I went with the 2-ship build. With the Resistance, I loved Ray and Poe, but I also wanted to fly 3 ships. So I'm like, you know what? I really want to fly the new RZ and try it out, see what happens. I know that there has been a lot of people complaining that the new RZ2 A-Wing is not as good as, they're not as very good, and you don't like A-Wings in the beginning anyway.
Yeah, I won't fly.
But I found that it was quite interesting to see what would transpire if we were to ever do it. But that's my Hyperspace Resistance build.
And having 3 ships is better too, because it spreads the focus of your opponent as well.
Yeah, but see, the A-Wing for me, what I like about the fact of the A-Wing is it allowed me to, and on it, there's nothing on it. Like, the A-Wing's blank. Like, it's got nothing.
See, my thing with A-Wings is every time I've flown against somebody who's had one, within turn 2 or 3, I've got it off the board. It was like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, but there's people out there, and Jared Marshall and Caleb are one of them.
talking about. It blew theirs off around 2 or 3, because it's like they were never there.
They fly in and adjust their, when they really want to maneuver those A-Wings, they can maneuver them pretty good. It's like anything with an A-wing, I find is one of the problems is, and I'm not very good at dodging arcs by all means. I'm probably one of the worst people to try to fly an A-wing because I can't dodge arc with my leg. But the A-wing is basically for a good chance for you to do little pot shots with it and then just kind of get it out of the way and just make it an annoyance. So try to keep it out of the arc.
And the Jake A-wing of its time was
pretty solid.
Was solid. I mean, it still fell out of the sky once you got it cornered, but.
So we'll see what happens, but that's my resistance build. I have not had the privilege to look at all of the resistance stuff as of yet.
Yeah,
but,
and we're just using the ships and the upgrade cards that they allow for
hyperspace.
I named mine Hyper Sandwiches. I'm not going to say why. You'll hear the pilots and you can figure it out yourself, but. I did start with Ray. How much was your Ray?
My Ray was 88 points.
Ooh, I was 93 points with mine.
So you've upped her.
Yeah, I put Ray's Millennium Falcon on it.
Yeah. Which I think is a staple, actually.
Yeah, and I put Veteran Turret Gunner on it.
Surprise, surprise.
I'm sorry, but any ship that has 4 sides to it, and I can set it up to shoot out of the front and then get a free shot out of either of the sides, that's just the route I'm going to go. I think it's super effective, and it works. So, I mean, you already went over her card. She's not as exciting as she was in version 1, but I think she's...
I still think she's really solid.
But I think, yeah, it's still a good ship to fly. So I went with her. She's pilot skill 5. And then I chose a couple T-70s, both pilot 4s. The first one, Women of Action. Karen Kun. She's the one that when you boost, you can do the hard 1 instead. Oh, I love doing that. Instead of doing a boost on a soft one,
you do the hard one. I was looking at putting her in. That's out of the X-Wing, right?
Yeah. And so I threw her in with just the S-foil.
Yep.
Because the points go fast. And then I threw in, Teeman Wexley?
Yeah, he's Wesley. He's Nora Wesley's youngest, I think.
Yeah. So I have one boy and a couple girls in there.
All right.
and then again, put S-foils on him. His ability, after you fully execute a speed 2 to 4 maneuver, you may perform a boost action. So you get a free boost action with him. Because most of the times you're going to be doing a 2 to 3, 4 action anyways. So you're looking at a free boost out of him. So I thought that was pretty good. Kirakan, her thing, was, like I said, the hard ones.
And that's all you put on her was that one.
I just gave them both S-foils.
Did you tell everybody what you loaded up on Ray?
Yeah, all I gave Ray was the Millennium Falcon and the Veteran Turrets.
Yeah, I found that the Millennium... You
gotta remember, I wanted 3 ships.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And I wanted pilot skills higher than 3. Like I said in another video, to me, 3, 2, 1 doesn't matter. They all have the same importance. In this game, it seems to be the 5, 6, 4, 5, 6s that kind of rated, and everything under below that, if it's still around, then it gets a shot. So I wanted it all to be 4s or 5s. So Ray is expensive at 93, then wanting to put 2 T-70s, which are decent ships. Putting 2 of those on the table that were above 3 got expensive. So I didn't have a whole lot.
Well, that's why I have to play 2, so I'm playing at 6 and 2 5s.
Yeah. So I mean, with the ships we had to play with, I didn't think that's kind of the route that I went. I mean,
if you've actually been able to look at the resistance stuff and being able to go through this on there, it's been unbelievable.
The Star Fortress I love, and right now I'm playing a build of a Star Fortress and 2 T-70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not taking down the house, but I'm learning how to play. And so far, it's got the losses that it's had were all close games, or I did a really dumb beginner mistake and it cost me the game. But they were competitive in all the games it's played. I like the Star Fortress, and if I had a second build to add to this little thing, it'd be a Star Fortress and 2 T-70s. The little A-Wings, I'm just...
Not so long.
I've never been a fan of them, you know that.
Yeah, he's always hated. But out of the reason why didn't I decide to fly a Star Fortress on my build? Well, one, I just think they're just big, huge slugs, and I'm not good at flying bombs and all that kind of stuff, you know. So for me, being able to fly Star Fortress because I don't have a good bomb. I'm not very good at bombs, so
I fly Eden Capel or Capal. His fortress, which is after you fully execute a blue or white maneuver, if you have not dropped or launched a device this round, you may drop one device. So after he moves, either white or blue, he can drop his bomb. Then you set him up with, where is she? Come on. 1 second here.
Who are you looking for? That Rose chick?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Rose,
I set him up.
Tico?
Yeah, no, Paige Tico.
Paige?
Yeah.
Rose Tico.
No, Paige Tico. No, not Ray. Right here. Paige Tico. And that's a turret. And what that does is after you attack.
Oh, she's a gunner.
Yeah, she's a gunner. After you attack, you can either rotate your dial or drop a device. So with her and his ability with your devices, before everybody moves, you can drop a device. After he moves, you can drop a device. And after you attack with him, you can drop a device. So in one turn, you have 3 opportunities to drop a device. And then I put, again, veteran turret gunner. That way, when he shoots out of the front, he also gets a shot out of the side if there's somebody to shoot at. So I set him up with corner nets and proximity mines. And he is just a nasty thing on the board. I mean, your opponent doesn't know when you're going to drop a device if you are, because you've got the 3 options of when you can do it.
Yes.
And at the same time, when I find when I play him, most turns he's getting 2 shots a turn. And the beauty thing is, I mean, you can, it's just the options of when you can drop a device are just awesome, because you could move, drop a device like a proximity mine on somebody that you couldn't have before if you had dropped it before movement, so it allows you to drop it later. And then the start of next turn, you drop the proximity device before everybody moves. And I've had good experience with proximity devices that 2 of them get rid of somebody pretty easy. So it's just, you've got so many actions, and it's just, and having the third option of going, okay, I've attacked, I should have dropped the proximity devices the other 2 times, but I forgot. But wait, I can still do it and save my butt. Bang, drop it, do some more damage. I really think that particular Star Fortress and a couple T-70s is something else to consider. So, or fill it full of A-wings if you like to fly A-wings or whatever your thing is. But yeah, for the Rebels, Ray was
Resistance.
Resistance. Sorry, for the Resistance, Ray was my favorite ship before, and she is still up there. But that particular bomber, I absolutely love as well. And theoretically, I could put that bomber and Ray together and do a build if I want 2 big ships as well. And both of them would have 270 arcs that they can shoot out, get a couple shots a turn, and be able to drop nasty stuff behind them.
I forgot about when I was looking at my build, I forgot that the gunner slot has a couple of other people in it, because I was looking at what you're talking there. I was looking at the gunner slot, and I was pretty excited about a couple of this. This would, okay, so here, get over this. So, if you look at the gunner slot, okay, with the Rebels, just briefly, I'm going to touch base on this, because I'm going to touch this, I find hilarious, okay? So, if you look at Luke, right? He's 30 points, okay? And he changes, what did he change?
I have no idea, because I think it's a waste of time.
But, okay, so anyways, while you're looking up that briefly, here's what I find extremely funny, okay? Is I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wait a second, what does Ray, as the gunner, what's her ability. So she's 14 points, and she can spend a force and change a blank to either evade or a hit.
Yeah.
Where Luke, what does Luke do again?
I don't know. He's useless.
Hang on a second. I'll find Luke. He's it's not on here because something just. Let me just go back into one of my other ones, and I'll find out. We'll go here and edit. We'll go here, and I'm just going to touch base here. Come on, here we go. Luke. Okay, Luke is 30 points. This is what Luke does. At the start of the engagement phase, you may spend one force to rotate your turret indicator. So let me tell you something. So all you can do with Luke at the start of the engagement phase is turn his turret. So, okay, I get it. Okay? So if he's on your ship
at 30
and
points.
Somebody's moved at 30 points, you can take that turret and move it so that you can get shuttled. That's a huge deal. I get it. But 30 points is a little outrageous. But here's Ray. So Ray says, I will spend my force, and I will take that blank result that I just rolled, and I will turn that into a hit. Or I will turn that blank into an evade. I think that is just as imperative as being able to turn your turret. Because if you just turn the turret at the beginning of the engagement, you still have to roll to get your hits on it. So I think that Luke is a little bit overpriced for what he's able to do.
Well, I don't plan to play Rebels, so I could care less.
I just wanted to touch base because I thought it was kind of funny. But I really like what the Resistance is kind of coming up with. What they have so far with Resistance, the mixes and stuff like that.
Well, the Resistance has taken all the ships that the Rebels had, except for the Arc 170, and put it in one group. I mean, that I liked. It brought over the ships I liked in one pile. Because all I really liked out of the Rebel Forces period were the T-70s, that new bomber, and Ray. And that's it. So now that they're in their own faction and getting a bit of love, it's a no-brainer for me.
I honestly feel that the
and I got rid of all my Rebels.
And I think that the new Resistance, Resistance is very, very good.
I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah.
I honestly feel that the sad thing that I feel about it is I think that what will happen now is a lot of Rebel players will end up falling away from Rebels a little bit, the Rebel Alliance, and they'll end up playing the Resistance more just because of the abilities of what is being done. The hardcore Rebel Alliance players probably will still stick around and figure out new things when they come up with new cars and stuff.
Well, eventually it all equals out one way or another.
Some way or the other, we'll see what happens. I mean, they still have to come up with some new stuff. But anyways,
we still have one more of these to pound out today.
We do have one more to pound out today. But thank you very much. I'm really excited about talking about the Resistance. It has been one that we've been waiting for a while. Yeah. So I was really excited to talk about it, and we were able to do it. Anyways, thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.
You bet.
You take care.